I am McCarthy. I'm in 6th class in Cappawhite National School. This is my granddad, Mick McCarthy, and we're going to be talking about what it was like in the olden times when he was my age. What games did you play as a child?
And we played hide and seek, hurling mostly, skipping, spinning tops and fishing.
What townland are you from?
Cappawhite, Limerick Street.
Do you know how the townland got its name?
There was a lot of families named White in the parish, and that's why it was called Cappawhite.
How many families are in the townland? What family name is most common?
There's 12 families in Limerick Street, and the most common name in the parish are called Rhines.
What type of houses were they, thatched or slated?
Mostly slated, but there was a couple of two thatched houses in Limerick Street.
Any old people living there?
Yes, there are 10 people living, there are 10 people over 70 living in Limerick Street.
Were houses more numerous in former times? Are there many now in ruins?
Yes, there was a lot more houses around in all the time. At one time the population of Ireland was 8 million. So there was lots of houses there. But the rooms, there are not many rooms in the parish.
Did people immigrate from there to America or elsewhere in former times?
A lot of people went to America, mostly, and worked in England too.
Any rivers, lakes or streams there?
Yes, there's a stream running at the back of the houses in Limerick Street, and it runs under the square in the village. And it goes out of the butcher shop and down by the Hurricane and flows into the 4 acre, which has a large lake there and has plenty of trees. It's a good area as well.
Where was the local fair held?
In Cappawhite village.
Or there are the great fairs of the year locally?
November and December. December was always the biggest fair.
Are special fairs held for the sale of sheep, bonhams or horses?
But bonhams and horses were always in the fair, but I never saw sheep there.
How many meals a day did people have in the olden times?
Well, they ate about 3 times daily.
Of what did each meal consist?
The breakfast would be most likely a boiled egg, soda bread, or porridge. Or the dinner, of course, would be mostly bacon and cabbage and potatoes, or turnips would be used too. And the supper, I suppose, be another boiled egg, and maybe drink a mug of milk.
What kind of bread was eaten?
Homemade soda bread.
How was it made?
It was made with separated milk, flour, bit of salt, and baked in a skillet pot with a lid on it. The lid was covered with red hot seeds from the fire, and this raised the cake up.
Were vegetables grown and eaten?
Yes, most people had their own, they grow their own food.
What vessels were used before cups became common?
Tin mugs mostly.
Were stories told by the elderly people while sitting around a fire on winter nights?
They generally tell ghost stories.
Do you remember any old sayings or proverbs?
Well, spare the rod and spoil the child was one. The bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, another. Faraway cows wear long horns. Grass is always green on the other lands with the passing along.
Write down the verses of some local song or recite it. Tell, if you can, by whom it was composed and why and when it was made.
Well, I'll recite a song, the third verse of the song, Lovely Cappawhite. And it says, farewell to McCarthy, likewise to sweet Carhu. Farewell I say to Bonneray, Glasdrone and Newtown too. My spirit's haunts those lovely spots in fancy through the night, for I love the sky that afters high of the lovely Cappawhite. And that song that I sung that I said was recited with lovely Cappawhite. It was composed by a man by the name of O'Dwyer.
Do you know any stories about the fox cupboard?
Yes, I do. I will just read this to you. In the Jubilee year of 2000, all parishes in the diocese were asked to hold a pilgrimage event to some special place in the locality during this special year. An organising committee was set up and preparation began to plan for a special mass on the site of the old mass rock at the Fox Cover. A group of volunteers set about the mammoth task of clearing the site. A large stone was put in place to replicate the ancient mass rock. On the day of the mass, it was a beautiful sunny day. People from all over converged on the Fox Cover. They came from all directions. Mass was celebrated by Father George Burke. Music was provided by the parish choir, and parishioners participated in the readings. A representative from each area lit a special Jubilee 2000 candle on behalf of all the residents of that area. After the Mass, the huge gatherings were entertained by the Cappawhite theatre group, reenacting the penal times story of a man who gave his life to save a priest on the run who was about to be captured. Dr. Dunn came running down the field shouting, "The redcoats are coming, the redcoats are coming." So at this point, everybody would be running to get away from the soldiers. That's what they had to contend with in those penal times. The Jubilee 2000 celebrations generated wonderful parish unity and was a fitting tribute to the courage of generations of men and women who kept the faith alive through difficult times. They passed to us a heritage of faith of which we can be duly proud.
What changes have you seen in the area over the years?
Well, we got a new health centre with surgery in it, and got a new church, a new supermarket, a new national school, 3 new housing estates, and a new community centre.